Is America becoming a communist country? What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, August the 18th. And of course, the question remains, are we becoming a communist country? We have lost the freedom of speech. We have lost lots of freedoms, and they continue to try to steal more of them as they overtax us, underwork us, and take away our jobs. Now, again, are we becoming a communist? I can't say for sure. But globalism is certainly a start. What we're watching in this country is certainly a start. The Biden administration has done nothing to help free America, but let in millions of illegals, let out criminals, promote defunding the police. So what do you think you have here? Okay, I mean, is this something that you want as a country? No law and order, which we'll talk about more in our commentary. But at least the Supreme Court has woken up and once again now ruled that transgender does not qualify under Title IX, so they cannot compete after we watched that farce in the Olympics of a man beating the shit out of women, okay, in an event because he was transgender, okay. He could fight nowhere else, under no world games, nowhere. But yet, he was allowed to fight in the Olympics and take gold. Now, isn't that a crock of shit? Okay? But, of course, we do have in this country, unfortunately, collective obliviousness where people don't care until it affects them directly. And, of course, what you don't realize is the amount of money that you're giving away, the amount of your freedom you're giving away to make this horseshit agenda work. Okay? I mean, Harris plans to, it reveals her plan to fix the economy. Well, I don't know about you, but she has been in office for 3.5 years now. Where was the fix when that moronic Bidenomics was in play? And many of you will say, oh, the economy is great. Well, if you think so, listen, I can't tell you except that I do know that a house that cost $150,000 in 1988 now costs over $750,000, and I can assure you that you're not making 5 times what you were making in 1988. But some of the things that Kamala Harris wants to do, $10,000 for first-time homeowners. Okay, where's that money coming from? Oh, it's coming from you, the taxpayer. As much as help with the $25,000 down payment, where's that money coming from? Oh, you, the taxpayer. Okay. Federal ban on gouging of grocery prices. So now we want to eliminate a free market system. Now, there are many grocers out there that you can find prices that you want to find. Okay. You want to shop? Go shopping. Find it. There are discount grocers. There is Aldi. There is Trader Joe's. There's all kinds of them out there. Okay. Again, the gouging came from the administration that allowed it to happen. Okay. Again, this inflation is ridiculous. Their spending is ridiculous. The amount of money going to Ukraine is ridiculous. Okay, the amount of dealings with China is ridiculous. But of course, we have very weak leadership except when it comes to fighting against President Trump. Once again, we're hearing about in jail. So they have now gone after Trump for the last 9 years. Okay. Trying to get him in jail, trying to impeach him, trying to do everything to keep him away. Now, you got to ask yourself a question. Whether you like Trump or you don't like Trump, whether you hate Trump or you don't hate Trump, whatever reason, you have to ask yourself, why is the Democratic Party, why is the deep state so afraid of Donald Trump? Okay, that's the question you have to ask yourself, not whether or not he's a good candidate or not, but why are they so afraid? Is he the one who's going to take away their power? Is he the one that's going to take away that free money train that you and me, the American taxpayer, get to fund? Again, I'm not telling you whether to vote for him or not vote for him. I'm asking you a question. Is it real that they would go after this man for 9 years? Okay, and now once again, we're hearing that some judge is going to try to sentence him in September. Okay. I mean, I don't get it. I can name dirt on just about every president that they could go to jail for. But again, it's somebody who doesn't want to fit with the ridiculous political system, the breakdown of our Constitution, the breakdown of America, okay, the allowance of the deep state and the rest to continue to steal from the American people, which goes back to the Federal Reserve of 1913, and of course, the four criminals that started that, which were Warburg, Rothschilds, J.P. Morgan, and the Rockefellers. But again, caps on rent increases. What should the building owners do? Okay, this should be a free market system. And in a true free market system, not a communistic system, okay, not a socialistic system, but in a free market system, the buyers and the sellers will meet. They will find what is the right rent, what is the right sale of the house. Okay, not should be determined by the government. The government should be determining wages. Okay, you want a job? Okay, if there's a demand for the jobs, then you'll get paid more. If there's not a demand, then you'll get paid less. Okay, again, free market capitalism is the best thing for Americans. Okay, because it brings prices into line, because it gives you higher chances for higher wages, and it gives you an opportunity to go out on your own and stake your own claim and become potentially the next Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. Again, without it, you have no chance. Without it, you become a serf. Okay, you want to become a serf, which is the same as a slave. Okay, I mean, you've got 9 states are now suing for some of the voting rules, suing the Biden administration. And again, you don't think that you need a membership for Costco with a photo ID. You need to get on an airplane with a photo ID. You need a photo ID for everything except the vote. Okay. Now, does that make sense to any of you? Okay. I don't care who you support, because again, at some point it's going to change, and it's time for Americans to take a stand, unless you want to live in a communist environment. Okay. Do you want to live in Russia? Do you want to live in China? Okay. Do you want to have the oligarchs taking care of and telling you what to do next? Okay. When to take a shit, when to take a piss. Okay. Again, this is what you're looking at if you continue to allow this administration and what they're trying to do to destroy the Constitution. Okay. I mean, here you have, now again, this is a rumor. I have no fact in this, but I did read it, that Tim Walz allowed the Somali fraudsters to steal $250 million from the Minnesota taxpayers. Now, again, I have no evidence of that. I'm just reporting what I read. Okay. But again, you're watching the destruction of fast food chains because they can't afford it. Okay. Because they can't get the customer. So what is that telling you? That the customer can't afford to go to McDonald's. They can't afford the $5 meal at McDonald's. They can't afford to go to Wendy's. They can't afford to go to Burger King. So what is that telling you about our economy? Okay, industrial production continues to decline. Okay, we're seeing the radical redistribution. Okay, it is a shame and it is sad. Okay, and I think that what you're watching here is you're watching the destruction of what was the greatest country in the world. But if we continue at this pace, it will not be the greatest country in the world. It'll be just another shithole, just like Russia, just like China, just like anywhere else that you know is a disaster. Okay, because our politicians don't have to answer to the taxpayer. Okay, because they import their own voters. Okay, that are half of them are illegals. Okay, and remember, the bottom line is simple. You're the one who gets the benefit to pay for all this bullshit that they create. You're the one that has the privilege to pay for immigration. You get to pay for all the government spending because that is all added to your tax bill. However they tax you, and of course we have all heard of the hidden tax of inflation. So if you're happy, hey, do as you wish. But you can bet your ass that we are headed right straight line to communism and not the free market that we all know, because we don't have it now. We don't have free speech anymore. Just look at social media. They block you. Okay. You don't have the free market capitalism. You can't borrow the money to go into a business anymore. So again, the small guy doesn't have a chance because this administration has cleared the way for Google, Meta, and all the big conglomerates who they're telling you, well, maybe they're going to break up Google. They're not breaking up Google. These pieces of crap, they love it this way because it makes the rich and the top of the food chain the top, which it makes them the top forever, while they destroy everybody below them. Okay? Because prior to the popular belief that the money goes down is Obama used in Joe the plumber, it don't trickle down. There is no such thing. Okay? It stops at the top. You're happy? Hey, vote your way, vote whatever way you want. But again, what you're creating here is a disaster that is going to be nothing more than to cost you a fortune and take away your freedom. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, August the 18th. And we're going to step out here for a break, and we'll be back with more in our market update after the break. Well, kids, what's going on? Been a tough markets, man. Wow, they've been just horrible. But of course, you know, we do have some brokerage sponsors for the program. And of course, as you know, I have many other brokers, give you full disclosure. But the two that I like the best, okay, are Capital Trading Group. And Capital Trading Group does all our futures and commodities work. We've got some partnerships with them. We've got some new products coming out, which I'll be talking about during the week or in the upcoming weeks of what we're going to do. And of course, we're going to have them involved in it. And a lot of great stuff happening, but check them out. Their information is scrolling on the side. And of course, TRADIER brokerage. What can I say? $10 a month, flat fee for options and stock, and unlimited. Okay. Now, how can you beat that? Saves me over $100,000 a year in commission. Okay. They've got great execution, plus the fact that we are automated with them. So our programs that we use are traded directly for you through them at no additional cost, except for our hedging, which is a licensing fee. But again, I don't know how you can pass it up. Check them out. Information on the side, $10 a month, can't beat it. And of course, our high school program, because we need some financial literacy in this country. It is disgusting when you watch what's going on. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and, of course, our commentary. Our market report. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, August the 18th, and, of course, markets were wild. They did nothing but go straight up. The S&P was up over 200 points last week. So the big sell-off of 2 weeks ago is over. Okay, it was a one-day wonder. We've basically gone up almost every day since. So it shows you that the markets want to go higher. And again, no matter what you want to believe, no matter what you want to think, okay, markets want to go higher. And you can argue with it all you want, but if you argue with it, guess what you're arguing with? You're arguing with the tape, and you're telling yourself that you are smarter than the market. And I would venture to say that nobody is smarter than the market, including me, who's done this for 45 years. Okay, but if you can learn to understand how the markets function, you're going to be a hell of a lot happier. And if you wait for the right opportunities and wait for probability, you're going to be a hell of a lot happier. In the meantime, in the four major indices, now remember, I'm giving you things that I can't tell you where they're going to be tomorrow. Okay? And I can't tell you that these will be our positions. But the way we stand right now is of the close on Friday, and now it's Sunday going into tonight when the markets will reopen. We are long the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P, and would be short the Russell. Okay? But again, we have no position. We have those positions, but we have nothing right now because we'll see. Some of them we could be flat in the morning. In the meantime, the dollar has been kind of flattish. We would be long dollars, but we don't trade them anymore, and it has nothing to do with the dollar. It just has everything to do with the cost of going through New York to trade them. The euro currency, we were short. Okay. Gold, we are long. Silver, we would be short. Bonds and notes, we'd be short bonds, long notes. Now, again, this is another interesting thing. We've got the September meeting coming up for the Fed. Are they going to hike? Are they going to cut? Who the hell knows what they're going to do? I know it's supposedly 100% that they're going to cut. I would argue with that, especially with last week's inflation numbers, but we'll see. Crude, we would be short. Heating oil, natural gas, we would be short. Bitcoin, we would be long. I think I told you gold long, silver short, copper short, and the grains short across the board, which the poor grains just keep getting pummeled and pummeled and pummeled worse. It's kind of sad, especially when you look at the retail prices. What a disconnection between wholesale and retail. But there's obviously a lot of costs in between. And of course, in the sauce, which we no longer trade, but we would be short cocoa, short cotton, short sugar, long coffee, and short orange juice. Okay, again, we don't trade them anymore. We just decided that it was too much, so we stopped trading those as well. But I think you got to look at just what's going on. And of course, we are in an election year, and you've got a lot of stuff, a lot of false hope as far as what the Fed's going to do. And as far as the economy, I think we've seen that we are in a recession. Okay, I can't make any excuses that we're not in a recession, except that nobody wants to admit to it. But bottom line is, either way, take it for what it's worth. I believe we're in a recession, and I think if you're not working and if you're in the middle class and below, this is recessionary times. And they won't admit it because, of course, God forbid they would admit anything before an election. Of course, the Democrat National Convention starts. I don't know if it starts tonight or tomorrow night, but either way, we'll see what happens. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, the 18th of August. We're going to step out here for our final break and come back with our commentary. Bubba's Bottom Line. Well, kids, again, I'm not going to go through the whole speech. Just remember, Capital Trading Group, Tradier Brokerage, high school program, sides, bottom, check them out. Again, nobody's telling you to switch. I'm saying that I think that those are benefits for you, and you might be happier if you go there. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and, of course, our commentary. Welcome back. Bubba's Bottom Line, Sunday, August the 18th. And, of course, I don't know. I'm so sick and tired of this law and order that we don't have. I'm so sick and tired of watching illegals come flooding into this country without law and order. I'm so sick of watching attacks on people and then them being let out. Okay. I'm so sick of Kamala Harris's policies of letting people out. I mean, this goes back to her days in California. Okay. I think that if you're a criminal, you should be punished as a criminal. And I don't think that letting them back out and letting people run wild, okay, does anybody any good, because typically a criminal, most of them will be criminals again, especially if you have nothing to lose. But the overall battering of the police department is a tragedy, because in this country we need law and order. That is one of the things that separated us from the rest of the world, that we did take care of our people. And now you're basically on your own. If you see what's going on in many parts of this country right now, you are on your own. Okay. And of course, we continue to hear bullshit excuses. But if it were up to me, you'd close the border. You'd put these people in jail. You'd deport the ones that don't belong here, and the ones that belong in jail, that's where they belong. And I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of watching the destruction of our freedom, our peace, and that people are now afraid to go almost anywhere, because there is no more real true safe neighborhood. There is no more true safety, except if you're a politician that has armed guards around your property. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horwitz. I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you back here, well, tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update, but of course next Sunday with Bubba's Bottom Line. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you later.